So we are less than 2.5 hour countdown until NASA brings out its major announcement of a discovery beyond the solar system. Morning, morning. The fog has caused it to be a bit brisk out this morning. I was going to try to put on a jacket, but it did not fit well over this sweater, so I decided not to wear it. However, this is a thick enough sweater. Yeah, Aaron was saying, I had already stopped recording. Aaron said that it's filed under exoplanets, which I think I knew that because enough people had seen, at least on Sunday morning, that it was filed under that. And everyone's like, oh my God, what it could be about. Like, people, in a weird way, I understand that NASA has it doesn't make press releases like this, at least with this much hype around it, if it's not a big deal. This is obviously a big deal, but people are almost going way too big a deal.
Yeah. People are thinking like, oh my God, aliens.
Yeah, like, not like, oh, well, we found, whatnot. And I had to list them on a friend's Facebook comment, the things that it possibly could be. It's like, oh my God, have we been in contact with aliens for like the last year? No. Are they going to release a cure for cancer? No, just stop. I mean, it's nice to dream, but it's just like, do you guys not realize how far behind we are on things? Like, what this could be would be like, we finally figured out what that extreme dimming was of that star that people were like, could it be a Dyson thing? May have figured out what that was. Could it be, because it's not like, oh, we found another exoplanet. No, that's like weekly, daily memo. That just, someone checks the computer and they're like, oh, looks like we found another 73 exoplanets this week. Oh, cool. One of the options is we found a man-made chemical in an atmosphere of a planet.
I think a better word would be manufactured.
Manufactured. Well, it would definitely, like what I was saying, like CFCs aren't, and it would have to be in a great quantity. That's one of the things they've been talking about for a while is we may not be able to detect life on other planets, but we can definitely see how an advanced civilization has affected their atmosphere, because we have. Would we be able to tell if they are under the effects of global warming? No. Because we don't have the history. Like, we don't know if we're under the effects of global warming. And that's why people are still fighting it, is because, well, we don't really know. Yeah, we do. Because we have enough history. And most of the people that want to fight against global warming are the ones that don't understand the difference between weather and climate, and are probably also the ones that say, well, we only have about 6,000 years of history. I'm like, no, we have millions of years of history, but sure. You can't conclude anything with 6,000 years of history. Apparently you can, but nobody else can. Anything you want to say?
My back doesn't hurt.
Lord, morning.
And I didn't take a pain pill last night.
Ooh. Physical therapy's already probably after one session.
Yeah.
Man, someone's already got the Typhlosion. It's sitting on the gym. There are people on this game that just, on Pokemon, that just don't do much of anything else. I mean, what do? I sit around the apartment and do other things and catch Pokemon as they show up.
Yeah. There are people who, well, there was a guy who was level 25 within, I think, a week of launch.
To be fair, if you play, it was easy to get through 1 through 15. It was just stupid easy. Like, I'm currently 26 and a half. We got a hell of a lot of fog out this morning.
Yeah.
Like, AccuWeather's already told me the dense fog advisory.
I'd call this like 100 yards, 150?
100 yards. I would have, I mean, you gotta think, how far can you see down a football field in this?
That's what I was trying to think.
Oh. That's why you went up to 100, you went up to 150 and going, no.
I haven't been on a football field nearly as much as you.
I want to call it a leafer egg for a second, but it's not. It's a chikorita. Why would I call it a leafer egg? Probably because it's got a big old leaf on its head. I don't know why they're tearing down so much. They're like, I got a microchip? What the hell was that? That's the first thing on my list. I also received 21 items from this Pokestop.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's good. Let's check out what this thing is. Transparent device that can make certain species of Pokemon evolve. Oh, it's produced by Silphco. It's an upgrade. I don't know who it upgrades, I haven't seen. So yeah, I'm just gonna cut this off here so that I can record later after the announcement and talk about that.
Yeah.
Sound right good?
Yeah.
All right.
So until then, bye.
Hi. So they've moved into the Q&A system, and I listened to a bit of the Q&A systems, but the tree grinding around here is getting a bit strong. So my floor is vibrating, and I can't hear them very well. As you can see, there's the 7 Earth-sized planets. 3 of them in the habitable zone of a cool red dwarf. And not like deal with it cool, like in terms of not what we think of as cool. You know, not cool, but in terms of suns and stars, it's pretty cool. Obviously, it's a red dwarf. Everybody knows that red flame is the weakest. They've got the masses down of most of them pretty well. I'd have to say 75% is what they sounded like, and then one of them they've got almost exact. And they've been doing this by figuring out, because they're so close to each other. When we see Venus and Mars in the sky, we see points of light. All 7 of these planets are so close to each other. I mean, to have a habitable zone of a cool red dwarf, you gotta be real close. So to have seven planets, 3 of them in the habitable zone, you gotta have, they are like moon-sized in our sky, if that makes any sense. So depending on what planet you're on, I think it was if you were on, they showed a little thing that in the night sky at like a planetary alignment, you could actually see all the other 4 planets on the outside and like be able to make out structures on them with your eyes, maybe with a ground-based telescope. You know, like when you take your little telescope that's your home and you point it up at the moon and you look at the moon, you can start seeing craters. Yeah, you could do this to the neighboring planets in this system. They are that close together. However, they're so close to the star, they're tidally locked. Just like the moon. Bringing up the moon a lot in this one. Anyways, they're tidally locked, so they have one side facing the sun, but it's in the habitable zone. But is there water? They don't know. We need James Webb to get up there and it'll do a better job. And we're not going to wait till 2018. We're still going to look because you never know what you find. You can get atmosphere spectra from like if you as it goes in front of the sun, you know what the sun's made of, and then you see when one of the planets is in front, you can maybe see that little tiny area where you got the circle, and then that little, like in the human eye, you have that little ring that's around the iris. Some people have it. It's hard to see in me. That's what the announcement is. And I said, it's not just some more exoplanets. This is like they do press conferences for big shit. And this is a big deal because this is 7 rocky, Earth-sized planets, 3 of them in the habitable zone, or what we call the habitable zone. That doesn't necessarily mean that there isn't, life on one of the inner planets or even on the outer ones. So that live in kind of an icy environment. I mean, good Lord, the Andorians live on an icy planet. In theory, the Breen live on an icy planet. We have whole organisms here that only live in ice. So a habitable zone of being like, we'll go with Fahrenheit here, like 10 to 40 degrees could be strange. However, again, they're tidally locked, so that gets a little bit weird. It means one side is way hotter. There's no real cooling effect that happens across the planet unless they eclipse each other. Anyways, so I will chit chat with you guys tomorrow. See what's going on. Ow! Still massaging my chest, trying to get blood flow to it and free up the muscle fibers. At least the pain's moving around. It's no longer down here. It's now moved its butt up here. Anyways, I will chat with you guys tomorrow. I'll catch you later.